Good evening, and welcome to Virginia Rep's Bedtime Stories. Oh, bedtime stories. That lovely old nighttime ritual of storytelling passed down from generation to generation. It's not about sharing stories with others. It's also about creating memories and quality time spent together with the company of a good tale. I mean, how is that? It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. So, I'm just going to open this book, and we're going to see what comes out. And if you're ready, and I know I am, let me take you on a journey into the magical world of fairy tales. Tonight's story is Leapfrog, as told by Josh Mullins.
Hello, everybody. My name is Josh Mullins, and I will be reading a fairy tale for you today. I will be reading The Leapfrog by Hans Christian Andersen. Throughout my reading, I will be pulling out different illustrations and different props and things, so stick around. I think you're really going to enjoy this. Without further ado, I present to you Hans Christian Andersen's The Leapfrog, adapted and read by yours truly. In a land far away, and once upon a time, lived a kingdom of fairies, like your town or like mine. Now the fairies were simple, and they liked shiny things, like diamonds and necklaces and solid gold rings. At the center of the town stood a tall golden tower, with a princess who wailed and who cried every hour. Why was she crying? Well, I'll tell you, you see. King Fred put her up there, then misplaced his key. The king gathered everyone in the town square. The princess is trapped! Oh! The fairies gasped in despair. Look, look, said King Fred, on her balcony she stands. Whoever can save her, I will offer her hand. What does that mean? Yelled a cluster of fairies. Whoever can save her, she gets to marry. Marry the princess? The fairy crowd screamed. Well, if only we flew. That'd be a dream. See, they didn't have wings, and they were rather quite plump. The only way up there was for someone to jump. The news spread like wildfire across the wood and the pond. If you want to save the princess, be at the castle by dawn. The next morning came, and the fairies gathered around to see if a hero had walked into town. Look to the gate, said the king to his butler. Did anyone come? He wearily uttered. Suitors, my lord, I see only 3. A 4-eyed grasshopper, a frog, and a flea. Yes, the 3 entered after a dark night-long quest to jump up the tower and save the princess. The grasshopper entered with a proud, gaudy walk. The fairies around him began to whisper and talk. Look at the hopper, so handsome, so strong. I'm sure he could save her. It wouldn't take long. The flea whizzed through the gates and straight down the streets. The fairies all marveled at his wonderful speeds. No way he could save her. There's no way he could flop. He could fly up the tower straight to the tip-top. Then entered the frog, all quiet and green. The fairies all whispered, except this time they were mean. His eyes are so crooked, his head is so flat, his mouth is so long, and he's rather quite fat. The 3 entered the kingdom and went straight to the king. He said, Nice to meet you. Now here's the thing. For the hand of my daughter, you 3 will compete. I'll go first, said the flea as he leapt to his feet. He stood at the base and took in the sound. of the audience's clapping and cheering and howls. King Fred asked, "You'll save her?" The flea said, "Yeah, I'll try." He looked up to the princess, then began to fly. The audience roared with a glorious sound, and the flea loved the praise, so he looked to the ground. The flea waved and he winked and he took in every word. He saw all the fairies, except for the bird. A bird swooped down and snatched him, one of the crows. Where did it take him? Nobody knows. Well, okay, said the king, all perplexed. He looked at the grasshopper. You want to go next? With pleasure, my lord, and he took off his glasses. Surely I'll save her. There's no need to ask it. He looked up the tower with his squinty, small eyes. He wears glasses. Remember, he's rather quite blind. He jumped off the ground with a strong, mighty fling. But he missed the tower and flew straight at the king. The hopper collided right into King Fred. It knocked off his crown and left a bump on his head. I'm so sorry, my lord, said the hopper to the king. I am so embarrassed. I promise I'll leave. He ran down the streets with little to no haste, got to the outskirts, and jumped over the gate. Well, I guess you can try, Frog, said the now injured king. Are you anything special? I don't know. I'm just me. He bowed rather humbly, without cheers, without fluff. The frog was quite confident. He knew he was enough. The frog leapt off the ground. The fairies were like, whoa! He flew straight up the tower, right into her window. I'll save you, dear princess. Please do not fear. Now hop on my back. Let's get out of here. She immediately ran and held onto his back as they leapt into a sea of hurrahs and claps. They reached the ground quite soft and quite swiftly. The frog offered his hand and let her off gently. How did you do that? Asked the overjoyed king. How did you do it after hearing those mean things? I didn't focus on the fairies or their words that were mean. I focused on her. And now she's my queen. That was beautiful, said the king, wiping a tear from his eye. You two will be married and married tonight. Whoa, said the princess. I'm not some apartment for rent. But he is brave, and he's so kind. Okay, I consent. So, whenever you hear a tiny flea's buzz, an echoing ribbit, or a grasshopper's hum, remember this story. Stay true to your dreams. Take a breath in and smile. Be the best you can be. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope you have a fantastic day.
Well, wasn't that a great story? You know, fairy tales truly are magical. So why don't you join me again next week when we open this book again? You never know what we might find. Until then,